Oh, it's rolling. Okay, this is dragon's breath. Kundalini, they call it breath of fire. It's a core Kundalini exercise for setting the navel. The overall purpose is to create will. When people are lacking in will and motivation and focus, we'd give them this breath control. The idea is that when you're building the energy, heat wants to rise. Too much heat in the head causes thinking, too much thinking. So it's almost like a mechanical exercise for shutting off thinking. We just take the problem and turn it into heat. And taking the heat, you want the heat back down in your belly. You want your heat down in your belly for your digestive life, your sexual life. You know, when it's up here, it's useless. It's just excess thinking. So it's really to bring it down and bring all that energy into your body for power so that it feeds you in a positive way. So we use an imaginary screen. You're sitting in a sphere, and the sphere goes underneath the ground. The center of the sphere is the navel point. So as you're breathing, you'll see that the energy wants to scatter. The imaginary sphere is what keeps the energy contained. You want to keep your energy contained. So we build up. This is usually a preliminary exercise to other Kundalini things. And it takes the place of Nabi Kriya if you don't have the time to do whole Nabi Kriya, because it really builds the power in the navel point. And part of the task is to try not to think at all through the whole thing. We're going to do this 31 minutes. It's going to be really boring listening to me breathe for 31 minutes. Maybe we can put an echo chamber on it later or something like that, make it interesting. And part of the way that the mind, the subconscious, learns to shut off all the excess of thinking is that when you do a Kriya for this long, and you're dealing with heat, there's always this juxtaposition of the heat rising and you with your mind keeping it pushed down in the belly. Those two forces, the energy going up and you keeping it down, is where you capture prana. That's the whole idea, is capture prana. And but it's almost impossible to not think for 31 minutes when you're doing this exercise. So part of it is when you do a Kriya for a certain amount of days, you'll see that the way the brain starts to turn itself off is you'll see after a few days that you're thinking the exact same stuff you thought the day before and the day before, weeks ago. And then you just have to do the Kriya long enough to see that. And then part of the mechanism for shutting it off is you just get bored. And the mind gets bored. And then later on, when you start the Kriya, a few days down the line, you'll start thinking and you just, oh, it's that again, you shut it off. You know, my new mantra is shoot first, think later. Just, right? Okay, so set yourself in your sphere. Remember, let the energy circulate all around you through your body, but the center is always the navel point. Relax your jaw and relax your shoulders. I'll keep reminding you that through the 31 minutes. Well, for people who've never done it before, it's a rapid inhalation, exhalation, pumping the navel. The emphasis is on the exhale. If the stomach gets tight, you just stop and relax, and then just go back to it when you're relaxed. An image that helps when you're doing this for a long time is a sheet flapping in the wind. So eventually, over a few days, it'll get a real smoothness to it. Okay. Again. As the heat comes up, the shoulders will start to get tight and the jaw will get tight. So keep reminding yourself to keep those loose. You can use a mantra if you want. I use Ah Yum Rum Mum Cum Rum Do. It's invoking the balance of the 5 elements, or you can use Sa Ta Na Ma in your head. But really try and use your will to not think. Keep the mind concentrated in the belly. Stay in your sphere. Keep the energy captured. Don't let it escape through thinking. And relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. Remember the sheet flapping in the wind. Okay, 10 minutes. Concentrate, stay in your sphere. Don't let the mind wander. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. Sheet flapping in the wind. Five minutes, Concentrate. Ayam ram ram kam ram do. 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 Kam ram do, kam ram do, kam ram do, kam ram do. Ayam ram ram 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 kam ram do. Kam ram do, 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 kam ram do. Ayam ram ram 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 kam ram do. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Hold the breath. Pull the sphincter up to the navel. Imagine the diaphragm, energy going down from the diaphragm down into the navel. Two forces meet at the navel. Concentrate right behind the belly button. Stay in your sphere. Inhale more. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. Let the energy circulate through the body and all around you in the sphere. Inhale more. Keep the sphincter closed. Concentrate right behind the belly button. Inhale more. Relax your shoulders. And exhale. Keep your concentration in the belly and the sphere. And then relax. I'm not going to do it here, but normally I'd recommend laying out for 10 minutes and just feeling the pulse in the belly. Again, no thinking, to allow the prana to settle deep in the body. And that's very important. That's the where you're communicating with the subconscious to stop thinking all through the day, is to really set that pulse down in the belly. And your energy will stay down the belly through the whole day. A couple of fine tunings before we close this. This is not Kundalini, this is pranayama. You have to do pranayama to open the nadis before you start invoking Kundalini. So think of gathering prana. Energy is constant in the universe, so people are always talking about building chi or building ki, building prana. We don't build it, we capture it. You capture it with concentration. That's the idea of the sphere and concentrating. And think of it as a carbonated drink. It's real simple physics, and you shake that carbonated drink and the pressure builds up. And if you can contain that pressure long enough and decrease the size of the container, pressure builds, pressure turns to heat. You can contain the heat long enough, heat turns to light. Real simple formula. It's the light, the heat and the light that runs through the nadis and breaks up the sanskara, the emotional patterns that have concretized in the body. That has to be opened and moving before you can invoke Kundalini. So next time we'll start with the two core Kundalini raising exercises, which is Satkriya and long Ekankars. But meantime, practice this for like a month and learn to shut off the mind. When the mind shuts off, it's quite wonderful. I mean, you learn to not think through your whole life. In other words, you can go through your life with intuition and feeling. When the mind isn't in the way, you discover all kinds of new interesting things. You can feel lightning and thunder. You can feel earthquakes around the world. You can feel whales making love at the bottom of the ocean. turning on your feelings and shutting off your mind. That's the purpose. And don't forget to, after you do this, to lay out for 10 minutes. And again, no thinking, just feeling that pulse pounding in the belly. So thank you. See you next time.